This is My Reality Podcast Show, the podcast that allows you to tell your story with no questions asked. If you think you don't have a story, then think again. Everyone's got a story to tell.
Welcome back to another episode of My Reality Podcast, hosted by myself, KC. Now, I just want to say to the viewers out there and the people that are listening, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment on the video, and share the video, please. Do you know what I mean? Like, all comments are welcome. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah? If the comment's a good comment, then I'll praise it. If it's a bad comment, then, really bad. If it's a really bad comment, then obviously I'm just going to have to block that person. And because one thing with me, I ain't come on here to muster with nobody. You get what I'm saying? It's my opinion at the end of the day, and I'm going to stick to it, and I'm going to hold my ground where my opinion and using my brain is concerned. And I'm not going to let no one tell me how to use my brain and how to and what opinions I should base in it. You know what I mean? Yeah? What opinions I should put on the table, as the foundations for my show or whatever. I'm not going to let no one tell me how to run my thing, innit? So, yeah, you will be getting deleted, innit? That's all I'm saying. Okay. Now, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about internet dating and how dangerous it can be. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because it's a dangerous thing, do you know what I mean, internet dating, because it's long gone the days of, when you meet someone out in the club, you get what I'm saying, and the man them you're eyeing up at the ladies' fires, and you know what I'm saying, or whatever, like thinking, I'm gonna move to that boy, you get me, and let me buy you a drink, and those days are kind of done, you get me, or you bump into a gal on the roads, and you spill the coffee out of her hand, and it goes on her work shirt. All the coffee spills on her work shirt, and you get a serviette out, and I'll dab it. I'm sorry about that. Let me dab that for you, and let me pick up your coffee, and I'll buy your coffee, and all of that stuff. You get what I'm saying? Those days are kind of done, innit? What's your name? And like, that's some movie shit, innit? Like, nowadays, it's all about the internet, innit? Yeah, and online dating, if you want to get a partner. You get what I'm saying? So that's what everyone's doing at the minute. And yeah, it comes with risks. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can meet your partner and then get married to them or whatever, and you live happily ever after, and you're all compatible and shit. But a lot of the time it comes with risk because you're just meeting each other for the first time, so you're both strangers, isn't it? So yeah, that's where the risk is. You get me? The fact that you don't know each other. You get what I'm saying? So if you are doing this internet dating thing, I'd just say take your time and get me in the beginning, okay? Now I got an article here, and it says, what are the risks? Online internet dating has become a serious problem, with people exposing themselves to the risks of fraud, scams, stalkers, and sexual abuse. Now, so you heard that, you get me? Yeah? There's fraudsters out there that scam you, yeah? And there's stalkers out there that won't leave you alone, you know what I mean, when you want them to. And there's sexual abusers, do you know what I mean? And that's any kind of conduct, where the person, any unwanted kind of conduct in it, basically. Any unwanted kind of conduct, any kind of touching in the places where person don't want you to touch them or anything like that. That's kind of sexual abuse, isn't it? Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, it says, 1. Online dating. Scammers exploit people looking for romantic partners. They do this through dating websites, apps, or social media by pretending to be prospective partners. So yeah, right. So basically, they get on these apps and everything like that, these people, and they build up a profile of themselves. Basically, they watch your profile first and see what you're on, and then they kind of build up a profile around your profile to kind of suit your needs, innit? You get me? So they basically sell you a dream, innit? You get me? Like, they tell you that you're everything they're looking for and more, innit? You get what I'm saying? So that's basically, for me, that's what I get from that bit there. Now it says, fraudsters' aim is to use emotional triggers to persuade victims to give them money, basically. Yeah? So they use emotional triggers to persuade victims to give them money. Gifts or personal details. which can then be used for identity theft. So you get what I'm saying? So they pull on your heartstrings. You get me? These people. Yeah, they get online and they look for their victims. Yeah, and they prey on these people, innit? They pull on these people's heartstrings, yeah, with emotional sub-stories. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, until eventually they're getting your details out of you and all these different things. And they're getting gifts out of you and they're getting money out of you just through pulling on your heartstrings. So you have to be aware of all of this, man. Okay, it says scammers typically create fake online profiles designed to lure people in. Yeah. They use a functional name or falsely take on the identity of real trusted people such as military personnel, aid workers, or professionals working abroad. Okay? So yeah, they take on this high profile. Do you know what I mean? Yeah? Like when basically they'll steal these kind of people's profiles that are in high society jobs and that, and they'll come at you in that way. Okay, so that was pretty much it for scammers. Yeah, so I hope you kind of heard what I was saying there. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and I do apologize for my reading once again. You know what I mean? It's a little bit glitchy on that, but like I said, bear with me and trust me, we'll make sense of it together. Yeah. Right. Number 2 is stalking. Yeah. Now, stalking's a serious thing, do you know what I mean? Yeah, because it's when a person won't take no for an answer. Do you know what I mean? Like when they won't take no for an answer, but not just that, they're persistent with it. Do you know what I mean? Or not taking no, they're persistent with it. So right, let's get into what they're saying on here. It says number 2, stalking. Stalking is unwanted behavior carried out by obsessive or fixated individuals whose actions disrupt their victims' lives. Okay, so it says people that are fixated and obsessed with their victims, right? To the point where it disrupts the victim's life. You get me? So you're watching out for these kind of people, man, when you're getting on social media sites and you're getting on all these Tinders and all these POFs and all these dating websites. Make sure you're keeping your eyes open, man, for this kind of behavior. Right. Stalking results in alarm, distress, or fear of violence in a victim. It may also escalate to other crimes. Okay. Right. 4 main characteristics of stalking behavior are fixated, obsessive, unwanted, repeated. Okay. So again, that's fixated, obsessive, unwanted, and repeated. Okay. So I hope you're getting that, man. Right. The effects of such behavior is to curtail a victim's freedom, leaving them feeling that they constantly have to be careful. Okay. Yeah, because sometimes the way how these articles word their stuff, sometimes they'll put words in place that weren't meant to be there. Do you know what I mean? So I think, yeah, that's what's happened there. But yeah, it's basically saying that, yeah, it leaves the victims, you know what I mean, like constantly fearing, you know what I mean, and being careful in it. Do you know what I mean? Everywhere they go, they're just, paranoid, basically. Right. In many cases, the conduct might appear innocent if it were to be taken in isolation, but when carried out repeatedly, so as to the amount to cause of conduct. Right. Yeah, so right, when it's carried out repeatedly, like in excessive amounts, it's like a cause of conduct. You know what I'm saying? It may then cause significant alarm, harassment, or distress to the victim. You know what I mean? So the things when it's carried out consistently, it's cause of conduct, and then it just becomes obsessive for the victim. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, man. So that's that basically on the stalking side, man. And let me know what you think about these bullet points, you know what I'm saying, on the 3 cases. Like, I'm coming up to the 3rd one now. But yeah, the first 2, let's go back one moment and just remind ourselves what the first 2 are. Right, the risks of online dating. Right, so the first 2 were stalking and scammers. Okay, so it's scammers first and it's stalking second. Okay, so they're the first 2. Now the 3rd one is sexual abuse. Now it says here, there are many different kinds of sexual violence, including unwanted sexual attention. See, that's what I was saying earlier. Harassment, sexual bullying, being exposed to pornography, sexual assault, and rape. All right? So you heard them. Do you know what I mean? There's a big category of different kinds of sexual abuse there. So it ain't just one kind, because when you hear sexual abuse, sometimes you just think rape in it and that's it, or one thing. But it's more than one thing, man. Do you know what I mean? And I'd like to repeat them for you again. You know, so it says there are many different kinds of sexual violence, including unwanted sex, right? Unwanted sexual attention, was the first one. Harassment was the second one. Sexual bullying was the 3rd one. And then being exposed to pornography was the 4th one. And then sexual assault was the 5th one. And then rape was the 6th. Okay, kind of sexual abuse. Alright, so yeah. These are all the things you have to kind of, you know what I mean, be careful of, innit? Yeah? Alright, any form of sexual contact which you do not agree to is sexual violence. That's what I was saying earlier. So any form of sexual contact which you do not agree to is sexual violence. Because, you know, yeah, you're not agreeing to it, right? So that's where it becomes violent. Now, anyone who does not respect your privacy, who will not leave you alone, who posts embarrassing or threatening statements about you, or shares photos online without your permission is being abusive. Okay. The person who commits any kind of sexual violence and abuse is always responsible for it. Okay, you see? So don't let them, after they try it or whatever, God forbid, you get me? This is like, you know, on both parties, isn't it? Yeah. Don't let the person try and tell you, oh, I didn't know what I was doing, man. I blacked out, this and that. Don't let them do that. You get what I'm saying? Because they know what they're doing, innit? You get what I'm saying? They're responsible for what they're doing. And if you're saying no to somebody and they're still forcing it, then that's definitely, you know, you forcing it, innit? That's you knowing what you're doing, innit? You know, so yeah, that's that there. Right, even if you know that you have taken risks or done something that made you vulnerable, this does not mean that you caused or invited the abuse to happen. Okay, all right. So yeah, that's that there. So those are the 3 things that you have to look out for, man, when you're internet dating. You get what I'm saying? And I just want to kind of talk about the internet dating thing. You know, because before I met my missus, I was internet dating like crazy. Do you get what I'm saying? But it's different, no, like for men, and it's different for men, innit, than it is for a woman. Do you know? So like, I really say to the women, like, when I'm talking about this stuff, you get me? Like, you lot be careful, man. Don't just rush into things, you know what I mean? Take your time and feel the person out. You get what I'm saying? I'd say even chat to them for a month, 2 months, just on the place where you met them. So if you met them on POF, stay on POF with them. If you met them on Tinder, stay on Tinder with them, innit? You get me? Don't come off of there until you're comfortable with who you're talking to. Do you get what I'm saying? And like, obviously, go if you have a 2-month conversation with somebody, and then you're gonna build text up, innit? You're gonna build text up through back and forth chat. First, it's gonna start off with small talk, you know, and then it's gonna get a bit more detailed, innit? And it'll get more and more detailed until eventually they're starting to reveal the kind of character they are. Do you know what I mean? The kind of person they are. So wait for that, man. Do you get what I'm saying? Because then you can always backtrack, innit, through your messages, and then see whether the guy's fucking or the girl is telling the truth or not, man. You get me? Because you're gonna slip up, innit, basically, in your messages. You're going to slip up at one point if you're not telling the truth. But you have to allow it time for that to happen through having a fucking decent conversation with the person for a few months before you actually jump into bed with them or jump on a date with them, or, you know, before you actually link up with them. You get me? Because once you link up with them, you know, and they get you where they want you or whatever, sometimes it's too late. You know what I mean? Things happen, innit? So be careful, man. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't do your thing, but do it smart. Do it smart. You get me? Don't do it dumb. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I will say on that one. But yeah, man, you know what I mean? I think I'm going to wrap it up there. This is another episode of My Reality Podcast Show, episode 10. And yeah, like I was saying earlier, you know, subscribe to the channel, please. Like, share, comment. And, you know, yeah, man. Just take care of yourselves, man. You get what I'm saying? When you're doing this internet dating things, take care of yourselves, yeah? God bless you all. Till next episode, I'm out.
My Reality Podcast Show is a platform that's set up for normal, everyday people to come on and tell your story. Guests will send us a recording of their story, and the most inspiring story makes it on the show. We'll also contact guests via social media, so look out for that. This is a brand new podcast, KC's My Reality Podcast Show. If there's anyone out there that wants to talk about their reality on this platform, holler at me on all social media sites. Another way to let us know you want to come on the show is to leave a comment on the YouTube page with your social media details down below, and we'll get back to you. That's a problem.
Sickness, let them cold turkey all over the Christmas. I'm cooking right now, and I don't need a witness to get holes in my heart like hand washing dishes. Just to feed my baby, selling drugs is on the wish list. Yeah, selling drugs is on my wish list.